Hello and welcome to the presentation on the physical features of India, Chapter 2, Class 9 Geography. The physical features of India can be classified into the mountain ranges, that is, the Himalayas, the northern plains, the Indian desert, the Deccan Plateau, the Western Ghats, the Eastern Ghats, and the island group. The Himalayan Mountains are the young folded mountains extending from northwest to northeast, covering an area of 2,400 kilometers. The width varies from 400 kilometers in the Kashmir region to 150 kilometers in Arunachal Pradesh. It consists of three parallel ranges: Himadri, the greater Himalayas; Himachal, the lesser Himalayas; Sivaliks, the outer Himalayas. We can see the dark brown region here, the three parallel ranges of the Himalayas. The average elevation or the height of the Himadri is 6,000 meters. The world's highest prominent peaks, the Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga, Maikalu, Dhaulagiri, Manaslu, Choyo, Nanga Parbat, Annapurna, Nanda Devi, Namcha Barwa, all these prominent mountain ranges and hills are located in the Himadri range. The greater Himalayas, they are snowbound throughout the year, found in number of glaciers. We have the location of these mountains in different countries. The highest Mount Everest is in the country of Nepal, 8,848. In India, the highest mount is the Kanchenjunga, 8,598 meters in height. And so on goes Maikalu, Dhaulagiri, Nanga Parbat, so on and so forth. The picturesque beauty of the mountain ranges, the snow-capped mountains. The Himachal is the lesser Himalayas, the rugged mountain system, the rough mountain system. The altitude or the height varies between 3,700 and 4,500 meters. The average width of this mountain ranges is 50 kilometers. The Pir Panjal range of the Kashmir is the longest range in these mountains. The other Mahabharat ranges are also the prominent ones. The famous valleys like the Kashmir Valley, the Kangra Valley, Kulu Valley can be seen here, which give a lot of scope for the tourism. The famous hill stations Simla, Mussoorie, Nainital are all present here. It is also equipped and endowed with the evergreen forests here with oak and coniferous trees. The Sivaliks have the width with the 10 to 50 kilometers range. Altitude is varying between 900 and 1100 meters height, covered with thick gravels, sand and alluvium, extended from Jammu and Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh. They are called by different names in different regions. Jammu Hills in Jammu, Mishmi Hills in Arunachal Pradesh, and so on and so forth. The Dun means is a narrow longitudinal valley between the mountain ranges. We have Dehradun, Patlidun, Kotlidun. There are also natural gaps or passes between the mountains like Nathula Pass, Shipkila Pass, these kind of passes. The natural gaps through which the Central Asian people entered into India through the land route several years ago in the medieval India. The importance of Himalayas. Himalayas stand as a barrier, protect India from becoming a desert, from the cold winds entering into our country. Himalayas protect the nation, and it is responsible for the monsoon type of climate. Protects the cold winds coming from Central Asia into India during the winter. This is the main cause of rainfall. It supports the perennial flow of water Ganga, Yamuna, Brahmaputra, Indus, the five tributaries of it, Jhelum, Satluj, Chenab, Ravi, Bias. Many such rivers have their origin in these mountain ranges. It promotes the tourism, and the picturesque valleys and the hills are of great significance. Generation of hydel electricity is also possible due to these Himalayas and the river systems, the relief system, which is enabling the generation of hydel electricity. Promotes foreign exchange earnings and culture. Development is also happening due to this. Cultivation of fruit farming, alpine vegetation or the mountain vegetation can be seen here. There is forest with rich wealth in this mountain ranges. It provides a natural route or a natural pass like the Khyber Pass, the Bolan Pass, and we also have the Karakoram Pass at the ranges of these mountains. Just below the Sivalik, we have the northern plains. They are known as Indo-Gangetic Plains. It is called as the granary of the India because it supports the agriculture, the fine alluvium brought by the three main river systems, the Indus, the Ganga or the Ganges, the Brahmaputra. They bring the alluvium and they restore it at the foot of the Himalayas. It was a part of this Himalayan system was a part of Tethys Sea. This sea had the movement in the plate movement which was converging and lifted up these mountain ranges up, and so it is called as the young fold mountains. This plain is formed of alluvial soil. It spreads over an area of 7 lakh square kilometers. The plain is about 2400 kilometers long. It is broad about 240 to 320 kilometers east to west. We can have an observation of this ranges. We have Hindu Kush range, we have Pamir Knot, we have so many important ranges here. The significant part to be noted here is more older than the Himalayas or the Aravalli ranges of mountains. These plains of the northern part of India, which are called as the northern plains, they are very, very rich in the alluvial soil, and they are having adequate water supply and also excellent climate for agriculture to be prosperous in this region. Also, we have many mineral deposits, and these plains are are the hometown for several civilizations. The northern plains broadly can be divided into western part of the northern plains as the Punjab plain formed by Indus with its tributaries Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Bias and Satluj. Punjab. Panj is five. Ab is a place of water or a meeting point of water or water existence. So the land of five rivers, Punjab. Ganga plain spreads over the states of Haryana, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal. The Ganga plain is divided into Upper Ganga, Middle Ganga, and also Lower Ganga. The river systems move like this, like the meanders or the horseshoe type. The Brahmaputra Valley of Assam, a low level plain with a width of 90 to 100 kilometers. It is surrounded by high mountainous region. We find wet soil or marshy tracts in this region, and also dense forests are located here. This plain is also flooded by water of the river Brahmaputra. The northern plains can be divided into four regions. The water from the Himalayas, which is flowing, this water brings down alluvium and stores here. And below the alluvium, we have the pebble studded zone. These are the stones, these pebbles. That pebble studded zone is called as Bhabar. Before the Babar, the alluvium which is coming every day since times immemorial, the alluvium is brought. The newer alluvium is called as Khadar, and the older alluvium which is settled beneath is called as Bangar. And the wet marshy track, the swampy track, that track is called as Terai. There we find fruit orchards, excellent flowery gardens, and orchards. The Bangar is the largest part of the northern plains, is formed of older alluvium known as Bangar. And Khadar is the newer alluvium, the younger deposits which comes daily, and it is deposited in the region. These soils are renewed almost every year, and so it is very, very fertile and intensive for agriculture. We move towards the west. We have the Indian desert, the Thar Desert. It lies to the west of the Aravalli range of mountains. It is an uneven sandy plain covered with the sand dunes, and we have crescent shape dunes which are called as bar chains, covering large part of the desert. Near Indo-Pak border, longitudinal sand dunes are very common. It has arid or hot climate with very less vegetation, and the rainfall is very, very low. It is 150 millimeters per year. The river streams appear only during the rainy season, and soon after the rainy season they disappear. The most important river which can be noticed here is Luni is the only large river in this area. They don't have enough water to reach the long range and join the Arabian Sea. Camel is called the ship of the desert here, and many rich minerals like lignite, natural gas, gypsum, limestone, salt are all available here and well exploited. Coming to the coastal plains, the Peninsular Plateau is bounded by two narrow coastal plains. The coastal plain is a region between the mountainous range of Eastern Ghat to eastern border, that is Eastern Coastal Plain. Western Ghat to western border, that is Western Coastal Plain. Western coastal plain is narrow and uneven, and the eastern coastal plain is even. It is broader. It is called as the granary of South India. It stretches, the western coastal plain stretches from Rann of Kutch to Kanyakumari. At it is present between the Western Ghats and the Arabian Sea. This map can give a clear cut distinction. This is the Konkan coast. This is the Malabar coast. From this part, from the Kutch, this range, especially this range, Mumbai to Goa, Konkan coast, Goa to Karnataka, Kannada coast, Karnataka to Kerala, Malabar coast. The range covering Orissa to Andhra Pradesh, Utkal coast, Andhra Pradesh region, northern Sarkar. This coast is northern coast. This range from the edge of the Andhra Pradesh to Tamil Nadu is the Koramandal Coast. It consists of three sections: Konkan Coast, Mumbai, Goa. We also have Kannada Coast, Karnataka, Malabar Coast, Kerala. In the east side, which is wider and flat, it consists of most fertile deltas because here we have Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Tungabhadra. All these drain into the Bay of Bengal. It consists of three sections: the Utkal coast, the northern Sarkas, the Koramandal coast. Koramandal coast in Tamil Nadu, northern Sarkar in Andhra Pradesh, Utkal in Orissa. We also find freshwater lake Kolleru and saltwater lake Chilka and Pulicat. The Peninsular Plateau. Peninsular is a triangular shape, we can say. The land which is bounded by water on three sides: Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal, Indian Ocean. And this range between the two Ghats, Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats, this is the Peninsular Plateau. Located to the south of the northern plains, covering an area of 16 lakh square kilometers. Once it was a part of the Gondwana land made up of igneous and metamorphic rocks, which came out of the volcanic eruption. After cooling down, these rocks are formed. It is one of the oldest land mass. Its boundaries are: towards the north we have the Bundelkhand upland, the Bagelkhand. Towards the west we have the Aravalli range. Towards the north we have the Rajmahal hills. Towards the west we have the Western Ghats. To the east we have the Eastern Ghats, and you go down we have Cape Cameroon. The Malwa Plateau, the northwest Aravalli, towards the northwest of Aravalli, and towards the northeast we have the Bundi Hills. Towards the south we have the Vindhya range of mountains. Towards the east we have the Bundelkhand and Bagelkhand uplands. The highest point in this range is Guru Shikhar Peak in the Mount Abu region, that is the Abu Hills. Satpura Ranges, they divide both the Malwa Plateau and the Deccan Plateau. Satpura Range is present between the river Narmada and Tapti. The Chota Nagpur Plateau is an easternmost part of the India. That is, if you see the India map, the Aravalli Mountains here, we have the Malwa Plateau, we have the Chota Nagpur Plateau, the Bundelkhand, Bagelkhand upland. Here, the very rich mineral deposits can be noticed. It covers the areas Jharkhand, Bihar, Odisha, West Bengal, Chhattisgarh. Minerally very, very prosperous. The Indo-Gangetic Plain is having this gifted land. The climate of the Chota Nagpur Plateau is very pleasant. The Son River travels through the plateau and enters the Ganges. The height of the plateau, the average height is 700 meters above the sea level. Coming down to the Deccan Plateau region, the north we have Satpura, the west we have Western Ghats, The east we have Eastern Ghats, the south we have Cape Cameroon. It is made up of volcanic eruption. So, Deccan Plateau's location. This is the Narmada Tapi, Satpura Range. This is the Western Ghats, this is the Eastern Ghats, and the location of the Deccan Plateau. North Satpura, the Western Ghats, the Eastern Ghats, the south go down Cape Cameroon. It is prone to volcanic eruptions times immemorial. There were volcanic eruptions. This entire region made up of igneous rocks, black soil, and very suitable for the black cotton. Includes Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka plateau. The Western Ghats, located between the Western Coastal Plain and the Deccan Plateau, they are continuous chain of hills and can be crossed through passes only like Thal, Bor, and Pal Ghats. Thal Ghat, Bor Ghat, Pal Ghat. Its elevation is 900 to 1600 meters. It causes orographic rainfall. The highest peak in this Western Ghats is the Anaimudi Hills, 2695 meters height, and next one is Dodabeta, 2637 meters. Other hills like Anamalai Hills, Palani Hills, Cardamom Hills are also located here. Orographic rainfall we studied in 7th class. The mountain ranges which stand as a barrier for the moisture bearing or wind bearing, the moisture which is bearing in the wind. These winds come here, they are obstructed by the mountain, they rise up and they fall here in the this region. This is the windward region. This is the windward region, and this side is the leeward region where rain does not fall. Very less amount of rain, here more amount of rain. That's why it is the orographic rainfall. Mumbai is located on the left side, so it receives more rainfall. Pune receives less rainfall, which is on the right or the leeward. Coming to the Eastern Ghats, they are located between the Eastern Coastal Plain and the Eastern Plateau. They are discontinuous because they are dissected by many rivers: Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, Tungabhadra, Penna. Like this, all many of its tributaries are joining into the Bay of Bengal. The highest peak in the Eastern Ghats is the Mahendragiri with the height of 1501 meters. The important hills here are the Chevroy Hills, Gwadi Hills, famous hill stations Udagamandalam, also known as Ooty. The island group, coming up to the island group, the Andaman Nicobar Islands and the Lakshadweep Islands. Andaman Nicobar Islands are located in the Bay of Bengal region at the grid point of 10 degrees and 40-degree latitudes. They are also of volcanic origin. We have the barren islands there, and they are bigger in size. The total area 8,249 square kilometers. Andaman Nicobar or the Andaman Islands present in the north, and Nicobar Islands are present in the south. Picturesque beauty, spectacular. These are great diversity of flora and fauna can be noticed in these beautiful islands. These islands lie close to the equator and experience equatorial climate. It has thick evergreen forests, and Great Nicobar is the largest island and lies close to the equator. Other important islands are the Little Nicobar, Kachal, Kamauta, Triankat, Nankore, Teresa, and Tivenchong. The Lakshadweep group of islands are located in the latitudinal extent grid of 8 degrees and 11 degrees north latitudes. They are of coral origin. So the mount is inside immersed, and these are the fringes. Coral reef, finger like shape, are emerging out of the water, fringes, and these are of coral reefs. The animals which are there, aquatic animals which are there inside the water, they ooze out a substance, and in course of time they become hardened. Also those can be noticed on these islands. The area of this island is 32 square kilometers. The island is very close to the Malabar coast of Kerala. Earlier these islands were known by three different names: Lakadiv, Minikoi, Amindiv. All three merged together, and in 1973 they got the name Lakshadweep. So the capital, Kavarati Island, is the administrative headquarters where all administration is done for it, and it has great diversity of flora and fauna. And the most noticeable part here is the Pitti Island, which is uninhabited. You don't find people living there, and it is known for a bird sanctuary. The mountains are the major source of water, and the forest wealth is tremendous. Each of the physiographic divisions of our country are complementing one another. The Himalayan mountain regions are giving us water, forest wealth. The northern plains are the granaries, they provide food to the country. Also, we have the Malwa and the Chotanagpur Plateau. At the Chotanagpur, it is minerally rich and prosperous, provides the base for the early civilization, the Indo-Gangetic plain, where people were agriculturally prosperous. The plateaus are the storehouse of the minerals, which has played a crucial role. Industrialization of the country, which is dependent on the acquisition of the minerals. The coastal regions and the island groups, they provide sites, picturesque beauty for fishing and port activities, movement of goods from our country to other country and vice versa. The diverse physical features of our land have immense future, and possibilities are there for better development. Tourism, a spectacular industry, is dependent. A country with such distinct features, and each feature is complementing one another. No one feature is cut off, one feature is dependent on another, and so India is called as a subcontinent. This beautiful PPT was made by my student Jagruti, class 9D, and I take delight in explaining this content. Thank you so much. I am your teacher Devalata Beku, here to simplify the concept of social science for you. Please like, comment, and share. Also, please message me, text me for any other videos which you like me to do and send for you for your exam preparation. All the best, children. Thank you.